Hey everybody, it's Conner Necromancer here, welcoming you to my first ever Let's Play. Now, without me confusing myself again for the 6th time as I've attempted to record this, we're just gonna get right into the game, and I will talk about it as things arise. Alright, so basically, Neverwinter Nights, the reason I'm playing this is because it's the game that I cited for really getting me into the gaming, just video games in general, also specifically any fantasy-esque games. I would like to point out, first of all, that I'm not massively well acknowledged on the D&D rule set and such, so I'll be going based on how to play this game, going off the basic knowledge, and trying to make things easier and just kind of open for everyone to play and enjoy. So basically, through this run-through, I will be playing as a fighter. However, there are many different classes you can play in this game, such as you can see here as the Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, and Wizard. Over here are some special classes that if you want to get later, you have to think of it now. So if, for example, you wanted to be a fighter and wanted to become a weapon master, you'd have to make sure you, at some point, reach these requirements, or else you'll never be able to become weapon master. On the note of such, a fighter cannot become a shifter, for example, because shifters are very specific to a druid. So just keep that in mind if you want to play a later kind of class. Make sure your basic class is accessible to get that, such as here for an assassin. You couldn't play this as a fighter, I believe, but if you do, you would have to make sure that your character is evil from the start, and you couldn't be any good. And my suggestion, if you want to have an evil character, but you're the type of person to unintentionally do a lot of nice things, make sure you're the most evil that you can be, such as chaotic evil. That way, if your reputation gets up, it will prevent you from no longer being evil by the time you want to be a Pale Master. You can also, like in other D&D, fall out of a class. So as a Paladin, they have to be a good class, a lawful good, or any good class. Alignment. If they fall out of that, they become a anti-paladin, so they no longer level up as a paladin. So just keep that in mind when you're making decisions later. The reason I'm gonna play as a fighter because I enjoy being a Correction, I have not really been a fighter. I know how to play as a fighter, I've just never really gone through entirely as a fighter. And this is my kind of way to do so. We're gonna be neutral good, so we want to help people, but we do basically what it says here. We're not always gonna help people. We're just neutral. Like, generally we're gonna help people. I don't really know where I'm going with this, so bear with me. We're just gonna be neutral good. Depending on how nice I am, I might accidentally get into lawful good, or how mean I am, I might get chaotic. Okay, so you can do here, if you've never played a D&D game, I would recommend this. But you can do recommended, and recommended generally is quite fair in what it gives you. It's a little high in Constitution for me. Constitution, I'll go over all the stats very quickly. Strength is very much how much damage and how strong a character is, as the name implies. Dexterity is, as it says, agility, reflexes, balance. This is the most important for rogues, as they use this for a multitude of abilities. Constitution is health, wisdom is willpower, common sense. Basically, you need this for a wizard, otherwise your wizard won't be able to cast any spells. Intelligence is a fun one. One time going through, I unintentionally had a fighter-esque character who had less than 10 intelligence. And if it is lower than what it says here, 9, you'll actually say stuff like me go that, or me no understand, instead of the proper way of speaking for this game. So yeah, we'll just increase strength a bit more. And, there. Dexterity is not that important for a fighter. Primarily, if you just want to have good strength and constitution, you could easily do that. You don't need dexterity, but it's nice to have in. But otherwise, try not to get anything below 10. Everything should be at an even number. So if we just deduct... Actually, we'll just leave it as it is. I don't need charisma whatsoever as a fighter. Packages, I would recommend you create your own. So remaining skills, primarily, a fighter can get away with what he basically needs. So parry, anything like a class skill is definitely something you want to pick up. Parry is very important. It's quite an ability you can use a lot later. He or she is a fighter. Intimidate's a pretty useful one. It takes up a lot, though, just keep that in mind. And, discipline, I would say. I don't think there's anything. Let's just see what recommended wants me to do. So they have parry, discipline's higher. They also have taunt. I think intimidate's gonna be... Actually, let's go with taunt. Available feats. This is very much where you're gonna make your own character. My character will be a dual wielder. Not dual wielder, he'll have two-handed weapons. So, I like to do as a fighter is you go in weapon focus, and seeing as mine will have a... It's not here. He will have... We need this weapon if proficiency for what weapon I want to use. I believe it's weapon finesse, or... Huh. I thought it was here. It might not be, though. Two-bladed sword is what we're going for. And we will throw in power attack. It's a very helpful ability. Customize. And it looks relatively close to the model. It doesn't really matter in clothing. We'll make him a bit blonder or browner because I cannot see. We'll just make him a brunette. Why not? I know it's not close to his model. Oh well.
Get on them! Attack, I say!
That is an interesting name. We'll just go with Conner Necromancer because first off, I need to spell my name correctly. Second off, it's quite easy to remember from me. Just kidding. You can put a biography in, but it doesn't change any part of the story whatsoever.
Time to spill some blood!
In case you were wondering.
Their time has come.
Some of these are pretty fun.
Destroy them all.
Like that one.
Attack! By my direction, attack! Strike it then! Attack!
We'll go Reserve Guardian. Alright, let's start the adventure that is Neverwinter
The
Nights.
Frozen North, the name given to the stark and unknown frontier that lies beyond the high moor of Faerun. A bleak wilderness where barbarians and tribes of giants roam the land, and fierce dragons rule the skies. But amidst the frozen savage stands a bastion of civilization, the city of Neverwinter, jewel of the north. Behind the city's high walls, those both hardy and brave carve out an existence from this bleak land under the guidance and protection of the legendary hero, Lord Nasher Andar. Yet there are some things that all the courage in the world cannot stand against. A virulent plague swept the city, a terrible affliction that began in the beggar's nest. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the wailing death. The disease could not be cured. Panic ensued. The streets erupted into violence. The jewel of the north was brought to its knees. To Neverwinter, Lady Aribeth de Tilmarand, Paladin of Tyr, and Lord Nasher's right hand, put forth a call for a champion. A rush of would-be heroes answered her call, some drawn by promises of grandeur and glory, others by the lure of gold. Those with the greatest potential were initiated into the academy to train and study under the greatest minds of Neverwinter, all in the hopes a champion might emerge to save the city from the wailing death, and whatever sinister force might be behind it.